Recently, my daughter and I went on vacation to a town right outside of Cleveland, Ohio called Geneva on the Lake. And while we were there, we decided to do a little thrifting. And I thought I would show you what we discovered. Do you do thrifting on vacation? If so, comment down below. Make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video to see all of the treasures we found. Our first stop was Bellevue, Ohio, between Toledo and Cleveland, Ohio. Our stop was the Goodwill in Bellevue. I have to say, on first approach, the Goodwill was a little bit smaller, but this was a small town, so I was still really excited to see what treasures I could find. The furniture section was first. The large drop leaf table was $39.99, pretty good price. Of course, they had an old sewing machine. I did like the milking stool for only $4.99, but I was not too keen on starting to put furniture in our smaller vehicle on the first store that we visited, so I passed. The setup of the Goodwill was a little bit different than what I was used to, and many of the items in the store were new, which I was not interested in. The housewares was in the center of the store. I've never seen this before. Normally it's on a wall or has closed shelves instead of these open shelving. I did like that the dish sets and real breakable items were already pre-packaged in a box with prices. As I continued through the store, I began to see a trend. Have you ever noticed this in a thrift store? You go somewhere and then you start to see a lot of one item. This store had a lot of Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy. Now, I've been a fan, and I even have a childhood picture of me holding one of my beloved Raggedy Ann dolls, but as I walked through the store more, many of these were a little on the creepy side. The housewares section did have some older items. Most items, though, were new and a little higher priced. I did find these really cute irons for $1.99 each. They're actually little tiny vases, but at that price point, they wouldn't be good for resale. The bundling also continued with dishes, which were already pre-wrapped in saran wrap for easy transport. Although I didn't find anything at this store, I will tell you my daughter found a bunch of really good clothes. And we were back on the road. Our next stop was going to be Norwalk, Ohio. I know this video is about thrift hauls, but Norwalk is a super cute town in Ohio and a must stop if you are nearby. There also is the most amazing antique mall, and I will put the information in the description box below. The displays and the vintage Christmas section are unbelievable and definitely worth the trip. I was also really impressed by the basic shelving, but then the vignettes inside of each shelf were absolutely amazing. Display really makes the difference. Enjoying this video? If so, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Also, hit the bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. This really helps me to continue to help others and help my channel grow. We checked out the Goodwill in Norwalk, Ohio, and it was a lot like the previous one that we had been at. It was a little bit larger, but the setup was almost identical. If you're thrifting, don't forget to check the baggies. There's always some special treasures in there. And it was off to the furniture section. Not too many good pieces here. This bed was only $5.99. It would have been a cute painted piece if I wasn't on a vacation and had no room for it. There was also this cute piece too. Next stop was Madison, Ohio, and this was a much bigger store than the previous ones. The shelves were packed with lots of items. Great dish display, making it so much easier to see what they had. I found this bed frame for only $7.99, but what I really liked were the vintage decals. Why can't somebody reproduce these and sell them? Wouldn't you want to buy them? If you know of anyone that reproduces vintage decals, let me know in the comments below. Next stop was the Salvation Army in Ashtabula, Ohio, and I was so grateful to get into a Salvation Army. If you watch my thrifting trips a bit, you probably already know that I love restaurant wear. And you know how it is, when you put something out in the world, you seem to get a lot of it back. And I'd been on the search for more restaurant wear. Well, Ashtabula sure delivered. There were tons of sets of restaurant wear made by the company Syracuse. And of course, I purchased some. This store had a lot more vintage items than what I had seen at the previous stores. It also had lower prices, and it had a ton of clothing again. I don't know what it is about the Salvation Armies in Ohio that I visited, but not only do they have clothing, but they have a lot of plus sizes. So I was really excited to see that too. Next stop was the Goodwill in Ashtabula. You know it's going to be good when it's on Goodwill Street in Ashtabula. It's actually the main distribution center for the county, and even the brick road was pretty sweet. Inside, we were not disappointed. This store is huge. I think there were 4 rooms of items and just so much selection and good prices. I was really amazed by how large this place was and how well stocked it was. Even the furniture section had more furniture than we had seen anywhere else. Finding things off-season is usually best. I picked up these cute little bunnies for the next Easter season. The use of the white bookcases made it very easy to shop in their home goods section. Loved these vintage globes. They were $5 for the set of 5. Unfortunately, once again, I had to pass because we were on vacation. I did score this treasure. It is Ashtabula Harbor, vintage print. Remember to stay tuned to the end of this video to see all of the treasures that we picked up. Unfortunately, it was a rainy day when we stopped to downtown Ashtabula, but it is a really cute town with lots of good local restaurants and stores. On our way home, we made one more stop to Willowick, Ohio, to a Savers. Now, in Michigan, we do not have Savers thrift stores, and my daughter was the one that discovered it and decided that we just had to go check it out, and we were not disappointed. The Savers store was really large, lots of good selection, and they were constantly putting things on the shelves. Prices were also really good too, like this little box for $3.99. Savers also had a wall of grab bags, and on this wall we found very cute vintage Niagara Falls salt and pepper shakers. I loved these mid-century end tables, and the price was perfect. Too bad we had the tiny car on vacation. They also had a wall of scarves, and I'm not sure if I got video, but there was an entire wall of purses, which was one of my daughter's favorite places in the store. If you go to Savers, one thing you want to keep an eye out for are the restocking carts that they set right outside of the door. They are restocking constantly, and I found that you're allowed to shop from those carts. Our vacation was over and our car was packed full of treasures, so we headed back to Michigan. And wait till you see all of the treasures that we found. It was quite a whirlwind vacation / thrift haul. Now let's take a look at what I got. Here are those Niagara Falls vintage salt and pepper shakers. What a nice souvenir from our trip. We also found tons of books for only $1 each, including this Fannie Farmer Junior Cookbook, which had an inscription. And let's not forget those adorable bunnies that I took them home. They ranged in price from $1.99 to $2.99. I also found Hull pottery. I was shocked by this. $3.99 for this planter. Many of the items that I found had flowers, but they were just too cute to pass up. One of my treasures from this haul was this vintage sampler. The frame alone was definitely worth the $4.99 I paid. Most of the items that you are seeing here will be added to my booth at Plaza Antiques and Collectibles Mall in Lincoln Park, Michigan. I loved the vintage print of the Ashtabula Harbor and also found a matching framed print of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Remember those carts at Savers? I snatched this beautiful vintage tin for $1.99 off the cart. There is one more thing that I purchased on my thrift haul that you haven't seen. Do you remember what it is? It is that entire set of restaurant wear. I ended up getting a complete set of 8, and I am keeping it for myself because I've always been on the hunt, and now I think I found more than enough, I think. So it's staying with me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video has inspired you to go out and find some good thrift hauls and continue to salvage, repurpose, and create.